there's an awful lot to do that is being done, but also there's a big distance to be covered in order to, as I said, to make this experience that happens, unfortunately, to far too many people as easy as it possibly can. And I was really blown away by some of the stories that we heard.
Yeah.
And it galvanized me, certainly, to want to be involved.
And just to get the Spinal Injuries Association more out there so people know that it's there, because I don't think many people do. I don't think it's, it's not something that is particularly well known. And
well,
I think
if you take me as an example of somebody who suffered a severe spinal injury and went through my entire care without anybody ever mentioning it, that tells you everything. So if I don't know about it, then how can it's not likely that the public's going to be very.
And also, there are people working there, with spinal injuries as well. So you have you have people there that know what they're talking about because they've been through it. So it feels less of a blind sort of walking in the dark kind of thing. You actually have people hands on, which is really important.
You feel like a pioneer. You feel like you're going it alone and trying to solve problems that the medical staff at the hospital that I was with, they didn't know the answers to a lot of the questions. They don't know how these things work, and so you feel like a pioneer working these things out for yourself, and then to all of a sudden find SIA, and there's this lifeline, there's people that
and the
have
knowledge
done it.
And the information
They know the answers to those questions already and have maybe solved the problems in better ways. It's an incredible resource and definitely something that people need to know about.
I'm so thrilled that we're part of it. I really am. We're really accessible as well, aren't we? We're like, you can approach us, you can talk to us, and if we know the answer and if we can help, we will try and help as many people as we can. We like a waif and a stray, but also we kind of, we want people to be okay, and we want people to have as much information as possible and feel like there is an umbrella of support out there, because you can feel like you're really on your own. You can feel like, and also, particularly mentally and emotionally, it can be really, there are days when, when you've been low sometimes, and it's like, oh God, what I don't know what to do, And if you have like a support network out there that goes, you're not alone, it's fine, this happens, you just feel like you're not fighting it on your own, and it's not a bad situation either. It's an upsetting situation sometimes, but it's I forget that you're in a wheelchair sometimes because you're so positive. And
it's
changing
what you
your
just
mindset.
said is brilliant though, because it's just different. That's the thing, and I think a lot of it comes down to, we live our lives with a certain expectation of what they're going to look like, and so then all of a sudden, if you're faced with a massive left turn and actually life's not going to be as you thought, that I think can be very troubling. But I think if you don't hold on to those things, if you live in the moment and you just accept life in the moment as it is, then whatever happens is what's supposed to happen. And I feel like that, actually. I feel like the opportunity that I have to do something different with my life and help people and make a difference is a real gift in many ways. And I think that one of the things that I want to bring to our role as ambassadors for SIA is to be able to talk about things that most people are not going to want to talk about. To discuss, things, because a lot of the stuff that is related to spinal injury is very personal, and a lot of people feel very, these are taboo subjects, talking about, bowel care and things like that. And I don't have I'm not prissy about it at all.
No.
And I think that the more we can talk about things like that, the less of a taboo they are, and the easier it will be for us to sort of solve the problems that are connected to them.
Once you say that out loud, once Jonathan says that out loud, it's like, there's something in other people's mindsets that go, oh, it's not just me, because you do think you're going through it on your own. You mean with anything that's quite challenging, or quite that you're not supposed to talk about, or it feels weird talking about. Once you say it, then other people can go, oh, thank God, somebody's talking about it. That's great, thank God. Now I can talk about it freely, and I can ask questions, and it opens up a raft of options for everybody involved. I think it's really important.
The more people understand what spinally injured people deal with, the more empathy, sympathy, support there will be across the board. And it is that taboo thing, like people don't want to go, how do you go to the doctor? Or nobody wants to talk about those things. And why not? The more that those things are discussed, the less the less of a
the less scary
they
are as well. It's not and people can ask us any questions and we'll answer them as candidly as possible.
Maybe even too candidly.
Yeah, we've been known to do that.
Well, I'm going to take full credit really, because when the offer for Strictly came in, Amanda called me and was like, I can't do that. That there's no way that I can do that. And my response was, that's exactly what you should be doing.
You were saying quite ambitiously, we should do that for our first wedding dance. I was like, no.
Well, why not?
We'll see. God, and I may cry because I'm very emotional as well. It's going to be a terrible, terrible thing.
It's not. It's going to be amazing.